Hello everyone and welcome back to Dark Souls 2, Scholar of the First Sin. Let's start by doing the annoying thing first. Do I have Pharaoh's Lockstones? Because otherwise... do not. Okay, then there's no point in walking down there. I could fight another pursuer. Actually, I think I can get some stuff anyway. I'll just do that. So right here, another pursuer spawns, because, again, reasons. I think they added that pretty much exclusively because they felt the game was too easy. Thank you. That attack is so easy to punish. That's the nice thing about it. And I'm now doing a bit more damage actually since I upgraded the sword. And these guys give you Twinkling Titanite, so that's kind of nice. It's annoying that they're here at all, but it is nice that they do give you Twinkling, which is a nice upgrade material. And a Priest's Chime, and we could get something from here, but I don't know what. There's also one more thing in No Man's Wharf, which I know I've missed. I'm just not sure if it's actually... I'll be right back. Okay, I'm back. Just had to check something on the wiki quickly. And I am actually correct. There is an item I missed in No Man's Wharf, which I kind of want. It's a good item. So I'll just take you along on another exploration, or I guess another run through this area. I am on the right shield. I will unequip... yeah, I said I will unequip those two things. I don't need them. I know it's a bit boring, but... since I don't know precisely where the item that I'm looking for is, I'm gonna have to do it this way. Oh, I one-hit them now. That's kind of nice. Oh, I one-hit you as well. Yeah, sure, that's fine. I should probably be using Estus, not life gems. Guess I have to buy life gems. And Estus refills automatically. There is... I kind of complained about this last episode. There are some walls in this game which are breakable. And I don't know where it is. I think it's a little further along. It's not right here. But it gives us a really nice ring. It has a nice ring to it. Sorry. That was just sad. Let's see. This guy's just silly. For some reason his pathfinding, if you kind of run in here, his pathfinding tries to get to you, but the other guy's in the door, so I don't know, maybe it can't find a way, and he just starts attacking the table. Hello. I'm sorry. You appear to be dead. Okay, trigger this guy's jumping attack. If you just run into the building, by the way, he'll do a jumping attack without actually jumping down. He'll kind of jump in your direction because of the tracking that the attack has. So Yeah, he'll stay up there and just kind of do a jumping attack on the roof. It's a bit silly. But quite frankly, the place where I find the auto-tracking in the game to be the funniest, or the place I've seen so far where I find it the funniest, might be there's an even more hilarious place elsewhere. But, it's in Hade's Tower of Flame, where you get these giant old knights. It's particularly the hammer-wielding type. They've got these large two-handed hammers. Come on, wake up. And if you circle around them, as they're doing their slow wind-up slam, they spin around on the spot while raising that huge hammer. They're just kind of pirouetting around. It really looks quite hilarious. No idea why they did that. Okay. The thing I just did is, if you walk into this corner, there's a hollow. I'll show you on the other side. He's basically lying down there pretending to be dead. And if you walk into this corner, you trigger him standing up. Was it here? No. I really don't remember where it was. I'll maybe have to check. I'm sorry that this is kind of tedious, but yeah, down there in this corner where I'm standing here. I just don't want to stand there for too long because that guy's throwing oil urns at me. And if I'm oiled up and that guy over there hits me with his fire arrow, I take a bunch of fire damage. I don't think it's in this room with all the dark beast stalker things. I don't know, they've got a name, but I don't know it. Well, I suspect they've got a name anyway. You did. Oh, there's one more thing which I kind of had to realize when I was playing with a friend in co-op. We were doing this area. That ship, you know, the ship, it has really wonky collision detection for some reason. So, say you're playing with a guy who's using spells, and he's run out of spell casts, so you say, hey, I've got a ton of these cast restoring items. I'll give you some. And then you drop them for him. Yeah, he can't get them. They just fall through the ground and they're gone. It's quite fun. That ship just... it appears to not really be quite solid for objects. And I know some pretentious douchebag is going to say, oh, that's because of lore reasons. Nope, it's just bad programming. It's quite funny to what extent people try to make the lore of this game meaningful, when really it's just garbage. For example, in Dark Souls 1, we fight a boss called Manus. Manus, Father of the Abyss. Pretty memorable fight. One of my favorite bosses in Dark Souls 1, definitely. Well, fight together, die together. And Manus is the first human. That's kind of what he is. He was the first... well, he found the Dark Soul in the first flame, thereby becoming human. Just... no? There we go. That's what I wanted. I just like to poison this guy. Don't think it's in here, but I'll check. It's in some building. May have to go through a bunch of them. Maybe it's this one? Oh yeah, and there's a crystal lizard here. Which, wow, just what the there we go. Now why was that so difficult? Soul of a nameless soldier, fading soul, large soul of a nameless soldier, and a life gem. I have no idea what this is supposed to be. Maybe these guys were kind of walled in here, left to die or something. But anyway, you get the Royal Soldier's Ring. That's what I really wanted to get. Equipment. Menuing is still difficult for me in this game. And this increases your maximum equip load. So it goes from 73 to 80. I think you get 10%? Would make sense. That would be 80.3, yeah. So you get 10% increased equipment load. There's a +1 and a +2 version of these as well. The +1 version you get later on in Drang Lake Castle, which we haven't been to yet. The +2 version, a certain boss drops for you in New Game Plus. Where am I even going to go next? I think I'll just move down here. Oh hey, you guys. Wow, what a sniper. But I don't really care, I just want to go back to the bonfire. I will do this off camera at some point, farming this area to the finish. Hoping for a Seabow. I don't know if you can get one anywhere else actually. Because if I don't get one here from the guys that can drop it before the respawns run out, the only way to get one would be to set the whole section into New Game Plus difficulty. And I don't really want to do that. Now let's head to the servants' quarters. I know this was a bit of an aside and took a long time, but bear with me. Okay, I've defeated the guy down there, so let's head over yonder. Down yonder corridor, or whatever. Over here. Careful. There's a guy in here. You will eventually trigger him. Ah, there he is. If you just move along this, move on, just if you go down this way, for heaven's sake, stop being so bad at English. He will eventually come out and possibly attack you from behind, which you don't really want to happen. That key is somewhat important for reasons. Well, you open some stuff with it. Now this room is full of explosive barrels and guys that explode. These guys. They attack you by basically falling down in front of you and detonating, but surviving the detonation. It's a bit of a weird attack, but yeah, they just fall down and there's an explosion, which does blow up barrels, but their explosion doesn't kill them. There's two varieties. I think one of these is actually the kind that does explode. That guy. The others have more of a dust explosion. That one's very fiery. The other explosion does not leave the guy dead. He can basically explode multiple times. So you have to ask yourself, how do you stop an exploding man? Sorry. I had to. I did not know there was a guy in there. That was just a lucky strike that I got him. Was it here? Yeah, there's a secret here as well. I did remember this one. I don't really need the ring to increase my equip load at the moment. Actually, I probably could. It's just so difficult to... I don't want to get rid of the silver serpent ring, so let's just get rid of the stone ring. I mean, I could just go for tattered cloth. I really did like that set in Dark Souls 1, and it is very light. 22.8%. That should still leave me with a decent roll. I think I need to be below 25%. Oh yeah, this guy up here. Do I even have... I do not even have a chime equipped. Because that's how bad miracles are. I think this one's slightly better. Oh well. I guess you should keep some sort of ranged option. This guy back here, by the way, is a bit of a troll. He sometimes triggers and starts walking and destroys this, I don't know, urn, vase, prison cell. I don't know what to call these things. And he kind of breaks it, and then you've got to deal with two guys at once, which is a bit of a pain. Okay, let's open this. And walk up here, because we'll meet an NPC. And that's why we need a fragrant branch of yore. I checked at some point last episode. Firstly though, let's open up here. I believe there's a guy in the corner, which is why there's collision here. You can see him if you've got a torch, apparently, even though the last time I tried I could not see him. But yeah, you don't get anything useful from him, but you get a petrified dragon bone, so that's nice. But that was not from the guy, that was from this corpse here. You always get that. And that's Strait of Aphalis, something. And we need to unpetrify him to be able to access that bonfire. And he is a very useful character, even though he's kind of sinister. So let's light the bonfire. Hello. I mean, he was imprisoned, apparently.
Still a bit stiff, I'm afraid.
And,
I must thank you, young traveler. I am Strayed, a wandering sorcerer of sorts. I've been a guest for a very long time, but I don't think that anybody will miss me.
yeah, apparently he was petrified when trying to get out of this cell, which is why he was kind of standing here, petrified. I don't know.
Cursed one, you lack intelligence. Weak, so terribly weak.
Oh, screw you too.
Cursed one, weak.
Oh, he's not even going to talk to me. Fair enough. He's not standing outside, by the way. He doesn't disappear. The way it works with him is... apparently you need intelligence, which... that sucks. That's a terrible decision. Or can I talk to him now? Nope. Okay. He is one of the guys you go to if you have a boss soul and you want to make a special weapon out of it. So apparently you cannot get those special weapons on a bandit unless you level up intelligence. Which sucks. Oh, by the way, see how they fall down and explode? That's what I meant. But yeah, that sucks. That means I cannot get those weapons without leveling up intelligence, which, I mean, probably going to do that, because I have spec'd faith a bit, so I might as well go for some intelligence, but still. What I mean by that, by the way, is I have put points into faith, and if I then just spec a bit of intelligence as well, I could use hexes, which are actually useful. So let's open this up. Wilted dusk herb. Or dust? I didn't actually read that well. Wilted Dusk Herb. Okay. Restores many spell uses. Quite a handy item to have. Now, is there some hidden... I don't know. I think there's a hidden corridor somewhere here, but I don't know where. Anyway, this is the parrying dagger. No, it's the twin blade, and this is the parrying dagger. Wasn't there something else in this room? Oh yeah, there's another chest. You get quite a lot of rooms in this game that have multiple chests. It seems like they didn't know where to put certain items, so it's just like, oh, let's put them in another room that already has stuff. Okay, that guy's over there. I didn't really want to be here. This is a section of the Lost Bastille that I really have no interest in. It's just some more stuff and another bullshit fight with the pursuer, because that was such an interesting encounter. Let's put it 5 times into one game. Perhaps they invented some kind of reason why it makes sense lore-wise. The one thing that's fun about the lore of this game is actually when people try to make sense of it. And yeah, they come up with all sorts of crap. The most annoying one actually, which is not so entertaining, is when they just default to, oh, the flow of time is convoluted. Because yeah, that explains everything. It explains anything, in fact. Okay, so anyway. Where did I want to go? I wanted to go here. I was quite sure there's a hidden corridor somewhere here. But I'm spamming my A key and nothing happens. Oh well, let's use the elevator. Yeah, one thing that I recently apparently heard about the lore of this game is that they decided that Manus, who was a big boss in Dark Souls 1, kind of famous, and they decided that his soul was split up into 7 pieces, creating some sort of weird monsters. Which really makes sense, because we got his soul in the first game. And his soul, well, the one he originally found was the Dark Soul. It's what made him human. So splitting a human soul creates monsters? Apparently. Oh yeah, this is another bullshit section. Get these guys up there, or that guy up there sniping at you, while also getting a mummy to attack you. But my damage is fine, so I can deal with the mummy. Just walk past here. And yeah, you find his soul in the first game. It's not split up. The Chosen Undead uses it. Or possibly doesn't use it, I guess, but... Manus was not some big mystical figure who was sort of there and then not there or something. He was just the first human who was corrupted by Ulor's sealed sorcery and then became a... I guess, creature of the abyss. But he was humanity, that was his whole theme. He was the result of humanity going too far, going out of control. He's certainly not something that you split up 7 times to create random monsters. It doesn't work that way. But I guess they wanted some tie-in to the lore of the first game. By the way, if you like really annoying ranged ambushes, these sections are probably for you. I am human, so that's nice, and I think I did talk to everyone I needed to talk to, so that's good. And there's a human effigy here, which is nice. And up here you get lacerating knives. I'm not gonna... This is a summon sign for Lucatiel. I'm not going to summon her just yet. There's another decision I really love about this game. For reasons. The Flexile Sentry is here. Now, it made sense that he was kind of on the prisoner boat that brings people to the Bastille, which I suspect was kind of a prison. Let's see what Lightning Spear does. He's standing in the water, so he should have a lightning weakness, but no. But yeah, it makes sense that there's a sentry on a prison boat. So that's kind of why I think he was there. Makes less sense to me to have that kind of sentry here. I mean, I guess this is somewhat nitpicky. It might be that this was intended to be an area that should be guarded, but really it's just flooded cells, and I don't know. Can't quite see why he would still be here. Anyway. Another secret. Playing here online is kind of fun, because you can't go out very far in that direction. The water turns lethal very quickly. You can't see it without a torch. I think with a torch it's barely visible. But yeah, there's kind of a line a few steps further, and if you step beyond that you die. And people do that all the time, so there's always a bunch of bloodstains here, kind of marking the line of death. Wasn't there meant to be a guy here standing up? Apparently not. Okay. I've got more of these explodey guys. There's a bunch of them here. Again, I don't know why they're here. And I know I'm bashing on the lore of this game quite a bit. To some extent I don't even know what the lore is. But just those bits that I do know, they just don't work. I mean, Soul of Mana split into 7 times to make some kind of weird sisterhood of monster boss things? That doesn't really make any kind of sense at all. Because if you're talking about Manos' original soul, that is found in the first game when you kill him, so that's just a normal boss soul. Why would splitting that up create monsters? Especially because if this is meant to be canon, then in the first game that soul might very well have been consumed. Who's that? Sellsword Lured. I might bring him along for the ride, actually, or the boss fight. Definitely going to summon Lucatiel. Okay, so I think... yeah, that guy as well. This place is full of explodey guys. But yeah, otherwise you could also be talking about the soul that Manus found in the first flame, which was the Dark Soul, which is what the games are named after. But if that's the soul you're trying to reference, then that soul has already been split far more than 7 times. It's been split uncountable times to create humanity. Those tiny little humanity sprites from the first game. That's the fragments of the Dark Soul which make humanity. Firstly, they created the actual item is a fragment of that soul. But also it is what makes humans human, that fragmented soul. Which sort of really goes well with the theme of the game. What doesn't quite make so much sense go, that's Luid. I'll take Thingy as well. Thingy, exactly. Lucatil. Luid is a tank, Lucatil can do DPS, and I'll just stand around and, well, I'll do DPS as well. Hey Luid! It is nice that the NPC summons have emotes now, that's kind of fun. I think he might have been added in the Scholar of the First Sin. I know Lucatil has been in the base game, but Luid, I'm not so sure. Anyway, let us open this. We are about to encounter a boss that just... I don't know, it's not a very... It's an okay fight, there's nothing sort of annoying or terribly difficult or anything like that about it. But it's just a bit... bland, I guess. Just another humanoid with a huge weapon. This time opting to go without a shield. But then again, we've seen tons of that. Now before you go into the fight, you definitely want to go up here. You need the Bastille key for that, by the way, so make sure to grab that. And you can light this oil. And I guess get small, smooth and silky stone. No, it's not, that wasn't a small one, it was a regular one, right? I don't know. Anyway, get that. And then do the same thing on the other side. And that's the main reward you get for having this key. Being able to light these two oil, I don't know, canals? Oil canal? I don't know. Containers. Generic containers. Anyway, we'll see what effect that had in just a second. Let's go into the fight. I might die, by the way, but I don't know, it's not that likely. They somehow said that this is a female? I think one of the firekeepers from the first game or something? Again, it doesn't make sense. It's just mindless. But yeah, that's supposed to be a female. I don't know if that's actually meant to be the firekeeper, I don't remember. There was something like that anyway. Okay, Luid can just block. While Lucatil and I can kind of whack the guy. Luid has a ring that makes him get more aggro. And he carries 2 shields, so he's very good at blocking. I should note, by the way, you see those 2 fires burning now? Those are basically what I lit. Without that, there would be darkness in this boss room, and that would make it a lot more difficult. Even though I've never fought the boss without that, so I don't know exactly how dark it gets. But yeah, this is actually one of those 4 great souls that the Emerald Herald has talked to us about. And it's just kind of a very bland fight for that. I mean, lore-wise, there might be depth to it that I just don't give it credit for. But the fight itself, this thing uses nothing but physical attacks. If you have a decent shield, you can block anything it can throw at you. Which is, by the way, why I switched to my Drang Lake shield. I think these guys together might easily be able to do the boss without any input from me. And that would suck. Maybe not, I don't know. Luid kind of took a bit of a beating there. But yeah, that was a great soul. That was one of the big ones. One of those huge, dangerous, powerful guys. I don't know. It did not do that concept justice. Like, Nito, Seath, the 4 Kings, and which one am I forgetting? Okay, Bed of Chaos. Let's just say Bed of Chaos was one of the worst bosses ever. It's definitely the worst boss in Dark Souls 1, and it's a lot worse than the majority of bosses in Dark Souls 2 as well. Anyway, at least those boss fights, except for Bed of Chaos, they're kind of unique and interesting. As that one's just kind of... I don't know, I found it very bland. Anyway, Let's light this bonfire. It's a primal bonfire. Yay, we've lit it. We can't really rest here. We can just return to the far fire. Basically return to Majula. And that's another thing about the level design of this game, which it was far less the case in Dark Souls 1, I feel. You just kind of go through a progression of areas until you've reached the final point of that area, and then the game just flat out tells you, okay, you're done with this section, now go back and go down another section, instead of having it all interconnected. That interconnectivity, it kind of got lost a little bit towards the end of Dark Souls 1, where you kind of went down to Izalith and that was somewhat linear, and the Tomb of Giants somewhat again a straight section, and Duke's Archives again not ideal, but just the initial game where everything just kind of, you open up a door or a ladder or an elevator and suddenly you're back at some other section of the game. I just think that worked really well. I still always, whenever I do it, I don't know, enjoy that section where you open up New Londo, where you open up the flooded city, and the gate opens to the Valley of the Drakes, and that's just kind of a connection back to the start of the game. Really nice. Anyway.
You have acquired, that is more.
Yes, I have indeed acquired the soul of an old one. Let's see, I can probably do 7 level ups, maybe just 6. I have 100 agility, that is fairly nice. I could get this up to 105. I do not want to spec more faith. I do not know how much intelligence I need to go too straight. I will need more strength and dexterity quite soon. Why don't I do those two to 25 and strength as well to 25? That seems nice. Okay, so we've embraced the soul of an old one. I think that's somewhat successful. Let's see how often I've died so far. You can just kind of keep coming back to this and check how often you've died. If you're online, it shows total online deaths by anyone, so it's a sum of every single player who's played online having died. Offline, it's your single player death. So 10, that's not too bad. But those were the easy sections. We're now moving to noticeably harder parts of the game, definitely. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed the episode, and next time we will probably head to Huntsman's Copse. I don't know. Anyway, see you soon. Bye bye.